So good afternoon everyone, welcome back for another Republic of Motorsport Grand Prix. This is the Vietnam Grand Prix, new to many. I've done my first league race around it, so I do have a bit of insight for you in terms of certain strategies I've adopted as well. It's going to be very interesting, of course, with the Vietnamese weather. If we're going to get it, we're going to land here in monsoon season, or it's going to be beautiful sunshine. So if you are in the Grand Prix today, do let me know in the chat the forecast for this weekend. As we can see, we've got sunny conditions here for the qualifying session, and of course we've got the short qualifying format. We've only got 13 drivers at the moment. Do hope to bump them numbers up and get a couple of people in. I do know the likes of Vettel was struggling with his connection, much like the Renault today. Did you catch the Renault in the Grand Prix? Rooney not messing about. Set up on, really heading to track. And he's got a Ferrari just behind him. So welcome along to the stream. Do let me know. Give me a shout out in the chat. Give me a shout out on the stream, boys. Yeah, let me know them conditions, s'il vous plaît. So yeah, thank you for everyone who's followed the channel recently. I really do appreciate it. I can't stress it enough. Thank you very much. We're up to 65 followers on the HSA channel, and that's a great achievement from a lot of the Republic of Motorsport boys, I have noticed. So thank you, Republic of Motorsport. Good to see here. We've got the driver numbers in place, so we can see we've got the number 9 on that sexy looking black Mercedes there of Rooney. Let's have a run through. We've got Ludlow just coming out of pit lane. He's in the Alfa Romeo. Trying to catch the driver numbers here. I think I'm going to need the spectacles for that one, Rich. That is my name, Richard. If you was what I'm doing, I call myself ABR Skills on the Xbox. And yeah, I like to commentate on a Sunday, to get a bit of excitement after the actual F1 Grand Prix itself. It was a bit of a snooze fest today. I did start to nod off a couple of times today. And yeah, it's going to be interesting how this one fares. Today, of course, the main protagonists in this championship are Rooney and Stubbsy, it's looking like. They're looking like they're going to spearhead it and go toe-to-toe all the way through this season. So who are we going to have on the flying lap? Let's get the track information and lap delta up. That will definitely help us, Rich. It looks like it's going to be James is just about to start his flying lap. So as you head down into turn 1 here, you want to brake a little bit earlier. Do not touch that inside curb, it will unsettle you quite a bit. Be extra cautious getting on the power through here, maybe short shift up through this long turn 2. This is taken from the Nürburgring, the opening sequence of corners, and they've tried to mirror that here at Vietnam. Let me know if you think they've done a good job of that. Really tricky corner and very, very easy to get a swapper on that back end around there. As we head down into this other heavy braking zone, use a lot of that inside curb there, not so much on this left-hander. And then again, very patient corner here. You're going to have to really wait to get on the power, because if you get the deployment down here, this is 1.5 kilometers, one of the longest circuits on the calendar, if not the longest. And as you can see, it's not exactly a straight. It is a bit twisty as we head down into this slightly unsighted hairpin as we approach this final corner here. And yeah, we're just going to tuck nicely on. Be again patient on the power. Do not touch that outside curb. It's like a massive sausage. You touch that, it's going to spin the back end, and it's going to put you into that inside wall. These corners here, taken from this next section, these S's, of course, very reminiscent of the opening sector of the Suzuka circuit, one of my favorite sequence of corners. Done a pretty good job. Again, you need to be quite flowing, not take too much out of one corner, otherwise it is going to really punish you in the next 2 to 3 sequence of corners. That last corner can really catch you out here. Again, just kissing the inside there. You're going to have to be so careful. And James kicks us off. Very decent opening lap there of 34.674. Do expect to see some of the boys pop up potentially up into the 33s. We've got Rooney 2003 invalidated his lap time, so let's check in on Stubbsy, who is in sector 3 at the moment, and Weston's pops up a 35.3. We've got a 38. 4 for ZZ, and let's just check in on what tyres everyone is running. Something I've done with my race strategy here is I did opt for the medium compound tyre to start the race on. Did start a bit back down the order, did benefit me later on as Stubbsy rounds the final corner, keeping it smooth, steady, and up to the line. Yes, it is a 33.2 for Stubbsy to kick off, and that is a great banker lap from the main man, ABR Stubbsy. Yeah, wow, that's a big benchmark there, and that breeds confidence. I cannot, you cannot underestimate that. Getting a solid banker lap in early on in the qualifying means you can just attack the rest of the session full beans and not really care too much if you do clip a wall, have a bit of a moment, etc. But who else is on the lap? I think Rooney has validated it again, so I expect to see him come into pit lane, get a fresh set of rubber. Of course, this shorter qualifying format, don't be too scrimpy. We've got the number 84 here. Again, like I said earlier, good to see the driver numbers on the cars. They're looking good in the Scarlet Ferrari here. Very impressed with Schrimper on his podium last time out. Thoroughly entertaining Grand Prix it was around Bahrain. So, I would say who's your pick for pole, but at the minute, it's looking like a tall order. That's all I'm going to say. So I'm just going to share this in the Republic of Motorsport chat. Can't get my words out today. And here we go. Let the fun begin, boys. Hanoi. It's definitely going to be a tasty Grand Prix. So currently it's Stubbsy fastest, James in P2, then Celtic Speed, K-Mad, Yanni Yans, Westerns, Ludlow, ZZ, I-Oaks. We've got Rooney, Pez, Schrimper and Aki yet to set a time, but we do have Schrimper going purple in Sector 2, which is the quick bits. Very complex circuits. It's difficult to get the flow here until you have put in a lot of miles around this circuit, especially this last corner. The amount of times I've lost the front wing as we come up to the line with Schrimper. Very decent lap. Talking of which, we've got a bit of debris just off circuit there, but 34.8, not bad to kick him off. We'll be fairly happy with that. And yeah, anyone getting into the 34s is not a bad lap time, in all honesty. I mean, if you're getting into the 33s, especially a low 33 like that, you're going to be doing something a bit special. As we've got a couple of boys on their outlaps. Who's currently furthest around the circuit? Let's just have a look. We've got a Renault up ahead of us. I think we must be coming in. Yeah, Rooney's still in Sector 1. We've got a slow moving car just up ahead. Yeah, so what do you make of the Hanoi circuit? Do let me know your thoughts and opinions on this one. Do you love it? Do you hate it? I know a lot of us hate it at the beginning because a lot of us can come a cropper around here. It only takes one mistake and then barriers are just there. Look how close they are, especially through the sweeping S's section. If you've got dirty air, do take that into consideration during the Grand Prix, as it will catch you out, especially with heavy fuel, all the rest of it. Tyres starting to scream in agony. They do start to cook up around certain corners, especially them long, like that long right and left hander, for instance. Come around the final few corners, really got to nail it, feel confident like around the streets of Monaco, and you can see so close up to the line. We're just starting our lap here with NG Pez, so we're going to ride on board down into turn 1. We're going to pick our braking spot, run a bit wide there. Again, we're going to short shift up through the gears. We're going to be nice and gentle on that acceleration pedal. We're going to drop it down a gear for this apex. We're going to get a good run out of here because this is quite a long straight. We're going to have DRS as well. And this is going to be a great overtaking opportunity down into this like a sharp right-hand turn at the end of the first or second DRS straight, shall we say. You can see, clip that, it's going to push you wide if you do take too much of that inside curb. And we've got a nice line through here. You really want to attack onto the traction here down this straight. And if you do have a moment, it's going to cost you for 1.5 kilometers all the way down to this hairpin here. Again, lap 1, word of caution, down into this hairpin. Brake a bit earlier than you expect because it will catch you out, especially if you're very close to someone. And NG Pez is just going to do a little demonstration for the fans. I'm just going to let the racing point roll on, boy. So good observations there. Stubbsy's just checking out what is going on. He's come out for another outlap. We do have Rooney currently on the lap, just heading down towards the hairpin himself. Is he going to hook it up nicely this time? Gets around there pretty well. Bit of a hesitation on power. Just wants to get this lap in. But saying that, it's the purple, so it's 2. This isn't really commit. Gear 6, drop it down to 5th. Hold it in 5th through here. Maybe down to 4th. Back up to 5th. Down through the gears, down to 2nd gear. Back on the power, up through 3rd, 4th. Maybe hold it through 4th, potentially 5th. Out the exit here. And up to the line for Rooney. Pops himself up into P2. A 33.7, very decent lap there. And still half a second to find as it stands. We've got Aki in the McLaren, currently out on the lap at the minute. We've got 7.5 minutes remaining of this short qualifying format. Head through the S's once more. Probably my favourite bit of tarmac around the streets of Hanoi. Of course, this is a street circuit. There has been some roads which have been purpose built, but they are everyday roads at the same time. And Tilka has helped design this one. Aki puts himself up into P9, that's a 35.2. I think there's still some pace in it for him. And we've got Stubbsy back out on a flying lap, it looks like. Check in on someone else though. Let's catch up with Westerns. It feels like it's been a while since I've rode on board with Mr. Westerns. Some telemetry. And it doesn't look like he's on a lap. But Celtic Speed is. Number 53 Renault. Run it as close to that outside line as you dare. Get the narrowest entry as possible. You can see how long this left-hander is and how careful you have to be, because that straight just goes on forever and ever. ERS management is going to be pretty key around here. You can't run a full lap either. In the hot lap, for instance, you do need to dial it back ever so slightly. And chat, is there any rain in the Grand Prix? So everyone's gone out on the soft tyre, which I would have thought someone would have tried out a medium potentially, considering we've only got 13 drivers. So it's pushing me more towards the fact that we could have a wet start. Maybe it's just me getting excited. I was praying for rain today, seeing them dark clouds looming overhead of the circuit, the Cats. But another dominant victory for the Mercedes boys. Yet again. But again, Bottas getting a bit caught out there. Verstappen doing an excellent job. And we've got Celtic Speed just kissing a few walls, coming around the final corner. And I think he's improved, and he's in 7th place, 34.929. So who else is currently on the lap? Stubbsy has invalidated his 2nd flying lap time, it looks like. So it looks like Pez is going to be the next one to attack. So we're just going to let the car do the talking around a lap of Hanoi here and just let you enjoy for your pleasure. K-Mag just confirmed that we do have a dry race. We've only actually seen one session with rain, and that was a qualification. Celtic Speed has retired. That looks to be on the exit of the pit lane. We're going to see in just a moment. He should be somewhere around here. Just disappeared out of shot. Not quite sure what happened there to Celtic Speed. Maybe coming out of the pits. Not quite sure, but that will be him qualifying as we've got just under 3 minutes remaining of the session. Pez is definitely going to want to go again. He's not going to get back to the pits and back out in time, that's for sure. So 2 minutes 40 remaining, 4-0. And yes, ZZ is going to have a go, and I think this is a good option here. To, not option, maybe more of a prime, but to go out on that medium compound tyre. As we've got K-Mag winding it up. Start his flying lap and attack at the streets of Hanoi. Hopefully Westerns is going to get out of the way. Give us a little tow along the way, maybe not. Gets out of the way quite nicely. And yeah, them boys are going to be cutting it fine. They're going to have to get a move on. Remember, 1.5 minutes at full speed. And we've got pretty much everyone out on track. So, who's your predictions to improve in this session? So it currently stands as ABR Stubbsy leading the way. He's 33.2. Rooney is 33.7. No one else has broken the 33 barrier just yet. Yanni Jans is third with a 34.3. James 34.6. 34.8 for Westerns, as well as Shrimper. And then it's Celtic Speed, K-Mag, Aki, Ludlow rounding out the top 10 as it stands. Oaks, Pez want to improve. Pez is in pit lane, he won't go any quicker. He'll definitely be looking to mix up the strategy. You're looking at a 1 or a 2 stop around here. If you can extend that first stint out on the softer compound, you can switch on to the hard to go to the end of the Grand Prix. And yes, K-Mag pops himself up into P3. That's a 34.253. Let's see if Rooney can challenge for pole position today. K-Mag has received a 5-place penalty for a collision with Stubbsy. So I think that's probably going to wreck Stubbsy's lap if he was on one. We'll stay on board with Rooney as it stands. Up the hairpin a bit better that time, I'd say. This is Delta saying checkered flag is out in the session. Finish your laps, and yes, we are purple. Ludlow pops himself up into P5 of 34.654. He just finished the session. Again, with only having the 13 drivers, it does give a bit more of a leeway. The drivers won't be feeling pressure as much as Rooney comes up to the line. He does improve, and a very good lap there, 33.3. But yes, good enough for the front row by looks of it, but not for pole position. And that will be it for Stubbsy. Anyone else out on track that can improve? It looks like we've got Yanni Jans in sector 3 at the minute. He's out of fuel coming into pit lane. Ioaks to cross the line. Westerns is into pit lane, and it just looks like we've got ZZ out on track. And he's the only one who can improve on what he's got already. And no. So that will be it for qualification today. It will be Stubbsy starting on pole position, Rooney up alongside him, a familiar sight so far this season. Then we've got James just behind them, K-Mag, Yanni Jans, Ludlow, Oaks, Westerns, Shrimper, Celtic Speed, Aki. Then we've got NG Pez and ZZ rounding out the field. Who's your pick for the win and the podium, boys? pretty much anything can and will happen here around the streets of Hanoi. All it takes is one moment, lapse of concentration. You know, if that last corner stings you, you're going to have to go all the way around with wing damage. And yeah, you definitely need a front end around here, at sector 3 in particular. As that will be it for qualification. As we can see, unfortunate scenes there. And we'll try to catch up what happened, but yeah, K-Mag receiving a 5-place grid penalty, so that will promote to Yanni Yans up to 4th from the starting grid. And yeah, disappointing. A good qualification there for K-Mag otherwise. And I'm sure he'll be looking to redeem himself come the Grand Prix. So I do believe we'll have a short hold just before lights out. Give everyone a chance to take a breather before we get going. We'll see that. So if you're just joining us, welcome along for the Republic of Motorsport. This is the Vietnam Grand Prix around the streets of Hanoi. And yeah, this track is definitely going to be a highlight of many leagues this season. I'm pretty sure of that. It just, you know, encourages close racing, especially with these long straights with DRS in enablement as well. And you're really going to need to manage your battery. Strategy around here is going to be pretty key as well. The tyres will go off, you know, fairly quickly. Anything past around 35% and you are going to be slipping and sliding all over the place. So you're really going to want to manage your tyres wherever possible. Okay, so a quick audio check just on the stream, make sure everything is loud and clear. I can't hear myself. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. So we'll just try that again. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. If you are on the stream, let me know if you can hear me, because I can't hear myself. It's quite interesting.
Okay, so quick audio check.
There we go.
Make sure everything is loud.
Bit of a delay on my end. So here we go. We're getting ready for lights out. We're going to have the customary formation lap just to get all of the cars up to temperature. Doesn't take too long to light up the tyres. Speaking of which, let's check in on the strats here today. So as you can see, down from P11, everyone has opted for the medium compound of tyre. That's Aki, NG Pez and ZZ, so watch out for them, especially NG Pez expecting to go strong on their medium tyres. The softs can go to about lap 12. You are going to have to finesse them ever so slightly and be careful towards the end of that. Thank you K-Mag for confirming that the audio is good. Very much so. It's always a bit more difficult when you don't have a co-commentator in the booth. As you can see, the racing point number 37 of Stubbsy will start on pole position up alongside his main championship protagonist, which is Rooney 2003. Speaking of which, I'm just going to check in quickly on the actual championship standings as they are. So Stubbsy currently leads the way. He's got a 1 point advantage over Rooney 2003. So Stubbsy is on 44, Rooney on 43. Then it's Lorne, who unfortunately is not racing with us today. He's in P3 in the championship and will probably drop down after this 25 points level with Shrimper on 25. Then it's Celtic Speed on 16, and then James on 12, K-Mag on 12, and Dunsworth 10, Weston's on 6, Vertel on 4, and then we've got Stato, Iox, Yanni Jans, Ludlow, Aki, Shaney, ZZ, Sink Westy, NG Pez, Basie. This is actually the first Grand Prix of the season for NG Pez, so good to see him back here and competing. So far we've had 2 rounds and we've had 1 win apiece, 1 for Stubbsy, 1 for Rooney. We've had 2 pole positions, make that 3 now for Stubbsy, 1 fastest lap for him as well. And yeah, who is your predictions for this one, chaps? You have to be careful, extra careful, down into T1, as it does get super tight. No social distancing into T1, pretty sure of that. As the grid forms up, nerves building. All I'm going to say is don't be a hero. Lap 1, consolidate your position. Yeah, it's a long, long race. So here we go, the grid is now formed up. We've got 5 red lights around the streets of Hanoi, and it's go, go, go for the Vietnam Grand Prix, and it looks like we've got a good start for Stubbsy from pole position. Don't look at the telemetry, that is incorrect, and down into T1. It's Stubbsy that leads the way, and Rooney's held on to P3, and then we've got James just up behind him there. Looks like everyone's going to come through fairly cleanly. Looks like Pez has dropped down a few positions though. We're going to check in at the back in just a moment. We've got some nice battles forming here. Just behind us we've got Iox, Weston looking to make a move early on in this Grand Prix. We've got the Williams who's going to dive to the outside of this corner, and he's going to get the move done, and Weston's as well. We break very early here, Ludlow, and it's going to compromise us along this long left-hander down to the straight. You can see the Alfa Romeo getting up the inside, and we get swapped when we're into the barrier. Hopefully not too much damage incurred there, and it's going to allow lots of cars through, and that's dropped Ludlow all the way down to 12, so a poor opening start there, but hopefully not too much damage, as we need to check in, of course, Rich, on the hairpin as we head down. This is a key overtaking opportunity, and as you can see, someone's absolutely sent it. It's the Williams, and oh no, he's into the barrier, and that did not pay off. What did I say, boys? No, dial it back a bit, dial it back, that one, because them full tanks, that hairpin equals disaster sometimes. Just sitting there, normally catches one driver out. Can't see the braking line, missed their brake marker, or was that someone into the barrier almost? Looks like everyone's going to come through fairly cleanly, and it's Stubbsy that has led the way on lap 1. Rooney is in P2, and then it's a bit of a gap now forming down to James in 3rd. Everyone's going to come through that final corner unscathed. I've never seen a Williams just kissing the barrier there. Just leaving his mark on that wall as we head down into T1. Ghosting, I'm not sure if we lost him or what was quite going on. Into the pits has come Ludlow, so he's gone for that front wing change. We get a new set of tyres on the car. The standings still going haywire as we speak. Let's have a look in the background here. Is there going to be any changes of position? Here comes the Ferrari down the inside. Shrimper locks up the inside tyre. Can he get it stopped? Runs a bit wide. Don't want to get onto that curb. And on the inside is the Renault of Celtic Speed. Is he going to get the move? He's got the liner. Who's that? Into the barriers. Westerns. Westerns is around and into the barrier. So we did catch that one on the stream, but we're going to go toe to toe all the way down this straight here. And we have a full safety car. So now interesting, as you can see, the pit stop strategies was predicting to stop a lot later than this. Looks like Westerns is going to carry on, so that's going to save his bacon, that safety car as well. Yeah, it's not worked out too well for Ludlow. So yeah, will the leaders pit now? I think it's pretty much a free pit stop. You're going to have to commit to the 2-stop if you do stop this early though. Maybe you can go on to 2 sets of mediums. We're going to see what the leader does. Is he going to pull off into the pit lane? Yes, he does. Is Rooney going to follow suit now? Remember, drivers have to adhere to that time delta. No, Rooney is going to stay out. James is going to stay out. K-Mag has opted for the pit lane as well as Shrimper, Celtic Speed. Yanni Jansen stayed out also. So we're going to have a split in the strategy here. And this is definitely going to spice things up. Just do have a bit of an audio glitch here on the number 9 car. So who has made their pit stops here, and the safety car is just going to pick up Rooney now. So who are the movers and shakers, and who has made a pit stop? So the highest up so far to make a stop is Stubbsy, currently in P5, and he has opted for the medium tyre, which does confirm it's going to be a 2-stop strategy, but he is going to be mega quick on their mediums as opposed to anyone potentially of the front 3, which is going to run probably the hard tyre in about lap 12 you'd expect. Let's see. Pez, he's switched onto the hards, so he's going to go all the way to the end now, as well as Westerns. Maybe a soft, that final stint. We'll see how the tyres shake out. Yeah, under safety car conditions, the leader will be looking at the back of the safety car for when the lights do go out. That will be his cue to control the pack and get ready for a restart. It's going to be really annoying, that audio glitch there. Again, nice to see the boys taking their time under safety car. You don't need to get too close to the car ahead of you. Even if you have the slightest of kiss, you know, even breathe on the car ahead of you, you're going to get a 5-second penalty with this game. So yeah, nice to see a good social distancing of 2 car lengths or more. Yeah, safety car will come around for another lap, and Stubbsy will be very eager for this safety car to get in right now and make advantage of this fresh rubber he's got on the car. He's going to have to clear Aki pretty quickly up ahead of him if he wants to stay with that front pack. And as you can see, their medium runners really trying to keep them tyre temps in the right operating window. So Aki's up 7 slots, ZZ as well. The real losers, of course, Westerns. Ludlow, opening lap incidents, which will all be reviewed after the race. We do have our own stewards, debrief, etc. We can put appeals into that as well. So it is a proper setup. And we, of course, have a lovely aerial shot here. Love this aerial shot. You've got this straightaway here, also on the right-hand side, opposite the palm trees. And we've got this long left-hand corner. He's got to hold on for dear life take too much out of it, and you'll definitely have full lock on around this corner, and you'll be drifting all the way around it. Down this back straight is going to really punish you. And we call it a straight. I mean, it's flat out. Anything flat out in F1, we call it a straight. But yeah, 1.5 kilometers of full beans, strap mode 7, DRS, and it's going to be extra spicy off the restart. We're going to have the front free on them used soft compounder tyres. And we've got a used medium runner in P4. So anyone who's on the scrub set, they should get their tyres up to 10 a bit easier. But yeah, Stubbs is doing a good job of scrubbing them in. And as we've got the A-Firm safety car in this lap. So Rooney, over to you, son. No excessive braking, please. Control the pack. Once you go, you do have to go. Quite a big gap back there. Let's ride on board with Rooney. I'm just going to see when he's going to drop the hammer. And it looks like he's gone. Hard to tell with that audio glitch. Yeah, safety car comes into the pits. We've got the final 2 corners here. Careful around this final corner on them cold tyres. They're going to come through cleanly. Whoa, big moment there for the McLaren. Holds it together, but he's going to come under attack. He's got the 2 Ferraris hounding him. Is it going to be a double team move down into T1? Everyone just consolidates their place. We've got the Renault on the inside. Lucky not to get his nose chopped off there. The Williams, it fancies a sniff. And now, up ahead of us as well, we've got a Ferrari on McLaren. It looks like the Ferrari got it in that Schrimper, fighting toe-to-toe with K-Mag. Look in the background, because the other Ferrari as well is having a right go at Celtic speed as they head down into this sharp right-hander. And look at this, he's going to send it up the inside, and no, that didn't work. That was a day late and $1 short, unfortunately, for Celtic speed, and he is around. We've got a yellow flag because of that. Celtic speed is going to drop down to the last position. And let's catch up at the front of the order, because Rooney has led the way. He's almost pulled out that second advantage already. Yanni Jans is currently in third, a further 1.7 seconds down the road. Then it's Stubbsy has managed to clear Aki already as we head down into the hairpin, and he's going to want to get a move on, and he's making excellent pace. Staying with his front three at the minute, but he's going to want to get past Yanni Jans ASAP. And yeah, we have a change of position, so we didn't catch that one just there, but K-Mag just moved up back up ahead of that Ferrari of Schrimper. It looks like he got it done down into the hairpin. So lots of battles to keep our eyes on here, and the 2 Ferraris are going at it. Hopefully they'll have a bit more common sense than Sebastian and Charles Leclerc. Really feel for Sebastian this year. Looks like he's really got hampered in terms of strategy on every occasion, and Rooney with the fastest lap, which has just been bettered into the final corner. Comes the Ferrari up the inside, he goes around, and no, it's a disaster. It's always going to be risky trying to put your nose up the inside there, and he's just got it bitten off. Celtic speed into the box, and does he have damage? Looks like he has got away with that one, but the tyres would have been cooked up there. And yes, the leader has pulled out a advantage already. Here we go, Yanni Jans on Stubbsy. Stubbsy is holding the inside. He's going to have to be careful. He's got this long straightaway to make the move done. So DRS is going to be in effect there, here down the back straight. Looks like Stubbsy is going to make a move. He's a man on the charge. Oh, and it's going to be tight here. He's going to show him the outside down into the hairpin. They're almost going to touch wheels with the Haas. And who's going to break the latest? It looks like Stubbsy has got the position done on them fresh tyres, and that was very crucial here for Stubbsy. He needs to get his head down, manage the pace now to the front three, and yeah, he's within 3.2 seconds of the leader at this point. So yeah, just start to manage the pace. The guys ahead, their tyres will drop off, but it's good that he has now cleared Yanni Jans. Very crucial. Look down the order because Aya Oaks having a sniff at Schrimper. Schrimper doesn't look as confident through this third sector here. Aya Oaks all over the back of him, and yes, into the pits from Schrimper, and he also received a time Oh no, time penalty. Not what you want to see. Just come around the final corner. Looked like Io just had a bit of a moment. Composed it though. Got Pez now up into position 9. Head down into turn 1. We've got a nice three-way battle here for position 7 on track. Westerns is also with us. Good to see him back in the fight. Lap 7 of 28. A long way to go, boys. And Stubbsy is already within DRS shooting range of JF1 James. It should be a pretty much cut and dry maneuver you'd expect. We're going to have a DRS hopefully wide open in just a second. He's going to go for the overtake. James is going to hold that inside line, but it's going to be in vain because he's absolutely going to fly on by now. Stubbsy, smooth operator as we know, and he's made that one stick to good effect. And that is Stubbsy now up into position 2, and only 2.6 seconds down the road from the leader of this Grand Prix. And we've also got a change of position here. We've got the Alfa, the Williams running very close on track. Pez is lost out to Westerns. So I do need to conserve my voice ever so slightly because I do have another Grand Prix to commentate on today, as Stubbsy does set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 1:38.462, and that gap to the leader is coming down. It's now 2.2 seconds. Them softs are going to be starting to scream in pain. The field starting to spread out, and Pez, he just caught himself out there under braking. Yeah, he's got wing damage. He's going to have another 20-odd corners to navigate with that damage now. Yeah, Hanoi. Hard tyres. Tricky one. Very tricky. I'm not going to criticise anyone for any incidents around this circuit today. But Ludlow, looks like this is the closest battle now, out on track, using a bit too much of the curb. Yeah, Io's definitely going to come under attack. Ludlow is in a good position. But does he have enough battery? Because it's very important, the ERS management around here. So Williams is going to come under attack now. Ludlow, does he have the top speed? Williams is going to defend the inside. Oh, looks like he can squeeze the Alfa. Going to have a better run on exit though. Williams using a bit too much of the curb. Holds it together though. And lives to fight another day. Sector 3 here, definitely the best part from the circuit. End of sector 2, we got a couple of corners reminiscent to the after T1 at Monaco, going up the hill towards Massenet, and then it switches over into Suzuka territory with them S's down into the final corner. Again reminiscent of that fast left at Sepang, I do believe, and then we stay down into T1. This long right-hander. Try to mirror something from Nürburg, the opening few corners of the F1 Nürburgring. And we've got Pez and we've got James into pit lane now. Gap to the leader is now 1.6 seconds between Rooney and Stubbsy. We've got a nice little battle here. We've got K-Mag. Aki, that's going to heat up anytime soon. This is the one to watch. And Westerns is just sitting back there. He's going to pick up any of the pieces if there's any tears from this one. And can the Alfa get it done this time? Williams leaves the inside line open this time, so it should be a cut and dry move. If he gets it stopped in time, Williams looking for the switchback, hops across the curb. Manages to do well, holding onto it there for dear life. Alfa up into P6. He needs to break away ASAP now. So into pit lane has come Rooney, the race leader in the pits. So Stubbsy is going to come around to take the lead of the Grand Prix. Remember, we're going to be on alternate strategies most likely. Let's see what Rooney puts on. Yes, Rooney is on the hard tyre. Rooney on the hard tyre. So Stubbsy's going to be able to really push now. So still a good battle here to watch. Now the battle for P4. And these boys will have to stop again, most likely. And this is going to be crucial as well because Rooney's getting held up right behind Ioaks. He's also got Westerns there ready to pounce. Rooney needs to clear this Williams as soon as possible. And he's going to go defensive as the Williams, but not defensive enough. He leaves a slight margin open and Rooney takes it. And good driving there from the Mercedes driver. The Williams going to come back at him, almost kiss the rear end. And the Mercedes needs a good slingshot here. He's going to have a distant tow up ahead of him. And let's catch in on the battle for P2 here out on track. As they head down into the hairpin, it's McLaren versus McLaren. K-Mag versus Aki. And he's going to send it down the inside. Aki, what a move. He couldn't hang on to it though. K-Mag with the switchback. Good spatial awareness from both drivers. Did we miss anything here? So as we know, Rooney has cleared the Williams. Now got Ludlow up ahead of him. I don't think he'll be stopping anytime soon either. Oh yes. And they're catching right up now to this battle between K-Mag and Aki, and this is all playing into the hands of that man in the lead at the minute, which is Stubbsy. Now has a 16-second buffer to this battle behind, which does include Rooney. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars battling on track. And no one making a move down into T1. Smart thinking. Change of position on this next straightaway. DRS enabled. Here we go. Rooney's on the move. He's already got the position done, it seems, down into the braking zone. But look, Ludlow wanted another sniff back at her. And Aki picks up a 3-second, using a bit too much of the runoff. Cutting the corner a bit much there. Rooney is now breathing down the back of P3 man Aki. One of the McLarens are going to lose out because they're going to go side by side into the hairpin. And it's a moving McLaren roadblock, or it was for a minute, and now Rooney splits them, Rooney up into position 3. And that gap now almost 17 seconds between Aki and Stubbsy. So Stubbsy, remember, has got a pit again. Doesn't have to do anything actually, but he's going to want to pit again for a fresh set of rubber. And yeah, Rooney getting really held up now as the McLaren peels off into pit lane. So Rooney is now up into P2. He has free air and he is on that hard tyre. We'll go to the end of the Grand Prix from here. Weston's looking a bit leery around the final corner. Holds it together very nicely. And thank you very much to ECFC75, also known as Gaza. Welcome to the channel, sir. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciate it. And oh, look at this. The AlphaTauri is lining up. And the Williams up ahead of him of Ioaks. And it looks like the move is imminent here. Here comes the AlphaTauri. The Williams is going to defend the outside line. Down into the hairpin. Should get the move done pretty easily. He's got it before braking now. The AlphaTauri does use a bit of that sausage curb. It's good traction, never mind. And the gap at the front of the order is now almost 18 seconds, so their medium tyres still looking pretty fresh as it stands. Currently done 9 laps on them. I don't think we'll be able to swap onto soft near the end. I think it will have to be another medium, potentially the hard. Oh, but the Williams touching the inside and now the outside corner. There's got to be damage to that car there. Lost the right hand end plate, and that is going to severely punish the Williams here. That's going to give Weston some breathing space now. Be able to hang on to the back of Ludlow. We've got the field starting to spread out. No one is within DRS shooting range just yet. So everyone's made one pit stop, Celtic Speed's made 2, as well as Pez. Shrimp has been in the box 3 times. And here comes Weston's. And that was a very easy move. What has happened to Ludlow? He's got damage. Well, he's not got damage. Just had a poor exit and he gets the position done back. And some good racing on display here, boys. Attack now from the Red Bull of James. And this is where it's really going to hurt the Williams through this quite high speed. You're taking this in about 6th gear, 7th gear through here. You can see he's just hesitating on the power. It's not the view I want, Rich. That's the view I want. And look behind. James is going to have to line it up at the right places into the pits. Actually, comes Oaks. So, just at the midway point now, lap 14 of 28. The leader, the gap is around 18 seconds. We do know Rooney can go to the end of the Grand Prix. He will have to manage his tyres, but yeah, he can go to the end. Stubbsy, on the other hand, will have to box. What did you make of the Grand Prix today? I found it rather boring, to be quite honest with you. The opening lap was okay. I mean, what a start from Lancey Boy Stroll. He's really impressed me this year. I mean, I was never his biggest fan, you know, daddy's boy, this and that, but my goodness, the boy has come of age. And yeah, he's starting to show some real manly performances of late, leading the charge of the team, and he's got a real strong teammate in Sergio Perez. And we'll have a bit of a moment here for Weston's coming up the hairpin. Really just to hold off hitting the wall there, but it scrubbed off a few attempts. As we see, the car ahead has now pulled out a bit of a gap. But yeah, great start from Lance Stroll. A bit unlucky there. Valtteri Bottas got absolutely swamped. Lewis Hamilton, pretty boring day, you'd have to say, for him. I mean, the most he saw of another car was just lapping them. I think everyone apart from the top 3 was lapped in the Grand Prix today, which just goes to show the different postcode of you know, the Mercedes, and how good it actually Verstappen is, you know, to drag that car around. I know he does get the priority when it comes to Red Bull in terms of, you know, whether it's the latest components, the strategy, and you know, just the love from the team. But yeah, Albon really, they messed up his race today. Absolutely messed it up. Putting him onto that hard tyre and putting him out into you know, traffic which hadn't stopped yet, were on used tyres. I think it was a pretty poor call, and you know, really hampered his day. And we've seen that, you know, that happens time in, time out with Albon this season. And if he sorts his Saturdays out, qualifies higher up the order, I think he will have a bit more of a cleaner strategy. But yeah, he's going to have to get that right in order to you know, start to stand out. Because Gasly, my God, what a start to the year Gasly has had this year, boys. He's absolutely been flying, and yeah, he's probably one of my favourite drivers on the grid right now is Pierre Gasly. Felt so much for the kid. He's bounced back double strong. He had that podium in Brazil. He started this season on fire. Kvyat is no slouch, and yeah, he's really dragging that AlphaTauri into Q3 when it shouldn't be there half the time. And yeah, very impressed with Mr. Pierre so far. Who's been your driver of the season so far? I mean, there's loads of contenders. Lando Norris jumps out there. Your normal protagonists, Lance Stroll, like we said. George Russell's had some excellent performances. Charles Leclerc has really dragged the prancing horse where it's not really welcome. And yeah, that was unfortunate scenes today as well for Charlie Boy Leclerc. As we're lap 16 of 28 here at the Hanoi Grand Prix. And we're just waiting for the final pit stops to start to spice this one up a bit. We've got a number of guys on the hard compound who will be looking to go to the end. The likes of Rooney, James, Yanni-Yans, Celtic Speed, Aki, Ioaks. Again, once more creeping up to the back of Ludlow. He's on 13 lap old mediums. Maybe starting now on this hard tyre to start to have that overlap. As he overlaps the curb in actual fact. Don't get out there, boys. And yeah, the gap. Just lost a couple of attempts again there. About 1.5 seconds as it stands. See how blind that corner is there. You're just going to have to go on memory, really commit to the corner. Some similarities here to the likes of the Canadian Grand Prix, also Singapore, you could say Marina Bay. As we come around the final corner, Ludlow has come into the pits. He's had enough of that set of mediums, and it'll be interesting what tyre he goes on to the end of the Grand Prix now. He should be pretty comfortable on the medium. Potentially drag the soft out. I think, yeah, definitely going to the soft. I think Stubbs is probably going to think about pitting next lap or two. Probably for the soft compound now if he's gone this deep into the race. What tyre would you go on if you was in their seat right now? Let us know. Let's check where Ludlow feeds out. A really tricky pit exit brings you right onto the racing line. Ferrari flies on through. So let's give Stubbs a bit of a camera time as he goes round once again. So he's still not stopped. And he's still doing a pretty good job of maintaining that gap. So hovering around the 18-second window. Is that a change of position? Oh, look at this! Celtic Speed and Aki are going to go at it. Aki on the younger, fresher, harder tyre, but he has damage to his right-hand end plate there. Both end plates in actual fact, so extensive damage there for the McLaren. And not what you want to see. You really need a front wing with a hard tyre, especially around Hanoi. And yeah, he's going to dive into the pits. Get a fresh set of boots, a new nose done, new nose job. Get back out there once again. So James is now creeping up to that DRS window of Westerns. He's got 5 lap younger tyres, and he should be seeking to get that position of P4 towards the end of the Grand Prix now. A couple more cars in pit lane, ZZ as well. Gap starting to come down to the lead now. It's now 18, just under 18 seconds. And yes, Stubbsy into the pit lane. So let's ride on board with Rooney. Let's see where this is going to shake out. James is closing in. He's going to be there or thereabouts next lap. Stay with the leader of Rooney. I mean, It might be the net leader. Let's see. It's quite a short pit lane here. Probably need around 18 seconds, so it's going to be really, really touch and go here. Stubbsy is going to get out in time. Rooney flies on down to T1, but he's going to have to take the long way around T1. And Stubbsy doesn't have to. He's going to get up to speed quick enough, fly out that exit. No, but he's going to come out right behind Rooney. Look at this. We're going to have a battle on, and he's within DRS shooting range. Is he going to get it on the first straightaway? Look at the acceleration on them softer tyres. Here comes Stubbsy. He's got the DRS. Is he going to send it, or is he going to wait? I think the smart thing to do is wait. Otherwise, he's going to get done down the back straight. He's going to line it up. Ooh, bit of a kiss there. No damage. No harm done. Here comes Stubbsy. This is for the lead of the race. Rooney's going to be using every ounce of the battery. He needs to hold him up, because as soon as he gets past, he's not going to have another chance to attack him on them harder tyres. And Stubbsy absolutely flies past. It's like a train. Rooney's going to brake late onto the apex. A slight kiss there. Pushes Stubbsy up onto the curb. We give him the space. And here comes James as well. Is he going to have a go here down into the braking zone? He looks more confident. He's going to be on the outside though. He's going to have to look for the switchback. AlphaTauri's going to have the shorter line there. Oh, gets the back end out. They both do. Struggling on power. James is going to have to be a bit more patient now. Have to wait for the next available opportunity. I did send one into like turn 20, I want to call it. And that little short hairpin as you come out here. Oh, into the pits comes Weston. So that's just cleared that up. But it has backed James into Yanni Jans, who's going to start to attack him now, you think. And look at this. Yeah, I think Rooney's going to have to consolidate his P2 now, because Stubbsy has already pulled out 2.5 seconds. He's on the fresh rubber. And yeah, it looks like that's pretty much bang on, unless there's any mistakes. We've got K-Mag and Weston's in pit lane, both opting for the soft tyre, and they're going to be absolutely flying in these final stages of the Grand Prix. Yanni Jans is in attack mode. He's within DRS shooting range. The car up ahead of him looks like he's struggling for battery. He's harvested quite a bit in the minute. Let's just check in on the telemetry. Oh, we've got a retirement. ZZ is out. Where is that? The final corner. Should get a look at it here. Oh, he's in pit lane. No, he's in pit lane. Good boy, he has retired off track, and we got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 36.7. Stubbsy on them soft tyres. Stubbsy using all of the track here. Gonna ride on board, or we're gonna have to keep an eye on the battle here with Yanni Jans and James. Looks like that one's about to get tasty. Still got the yellow flag in sector 1, as I think the AI has come back out the pits. You should see it just up ahead of us now, just pulled over. There's the stricken Ferrari. I don't know why it just doesn't drive into the garage. That would be a nice option, Codemasters. Driving along that AI car. I think it's just pulled off. So, not long to go now, boys. Not long to go. The guys to watch will definitely be K-Mag. He's making some excellent ground, and he's taking huge chunks out of Ludlow. I'm currently in P5. Weston's as well. Oh, let's check in on that. Celtic speed on Westerns. Westerns has already got the position done. Stubbsy a 36.0 for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. That's going to be hard to better. Another yellow flag in sector 2. What has happened? Oh, it looks like Ioaks and Aki have come together. Got extensive damage to the McLaren. And a case of deja vu. We're on lap 22 of 28. Yanni Yan still creeping up on him. K-Mag absolutely flying, like we said. He's now within DRS shooting range of Ludlow up ahead of him. And them soft tyres really coming into their own now. The leader now has 8.5 seconds lead. He'll just be managing his pace at this point. And here we go. Here comes K-Mag. Just needs to place his car nicely here, get the maximum traction out of these soft tyres, and it's going to be an easy job, you'd say. Here he is, he dives under the rear wing, pulls out into the fresh air. We have DRS enabled. He's absolutely going to fly on by, but tucking back in behind him is Ludlow. He's not done with this one. Yep, that's K-Mag up into position 5. Oh, and we did miss it. This battle here, we're within 1 second as well, James and Yanni Ants. And we've got a battle further down the order, down into the hairpin. Shrimp are going to look for a move on Pez. Both on the same sort of age of tyre. So this one's going to go all the way to the flag between this pair. Double look up there for the Scuderia Ferrari. So as we're approaching the end of the Grand Prix, let's start to think about driver of the day, and Shrimp has dived into the pits. It'll be interesting to see if that's for any sort of damage or the tyres are just going to give up the go, because ideally you would have boxed earlier in the stint to really maximise that final tyre. Definitely going to go onto the softs, you'd imagine. Yep, no wing change, so straight tyres. Concerns there for Shrimp up. It wasn't going to last to the end of the Grand Prix. Yanni Jans is sticking with James at the minute. He's going to have to if he's got any fighting chance. And it's going to be a tall ask for K-Mag. Next car up ahead of him is Yanni Jans. And it's over 8 seconds, 4 laps remaining. Need a couple of seconds a lap to make that one work. Or a mistake. It's not impossible. Keep an eye on the gap. I'm going to keep saying that I love this last section here. Hook a wheel over there. Kiss a bit of that one. Roll it in as deep as you dare there. Shift it down to second. As close to that apex as you can. Run it out. Third, fourth, fifth on the apex here. On the power. I don't know, it's not out of the question because we've just taken a 1.5 seconds out of Yanni Jans up ahead of us. And yeah, Yanni Jans 13 lap old hards and not going to be feeling too great either. K-Mag is absolutely flying. I'm going to call it. He's going to catch Yanni Jans. Don't ask me how, when or why, but it's crucial that Yanni Jans holds onto the back of James. They can really help each other out with the DRS. Looks like James has the outright pace. Yanni Jans is going to use that DRS to good effect. Tow him along. Close enough into the hairpin. No, he's not. So again, sometimes you just got to be smart. Accept that the other guy may be faster than you, and use him to your advantage to make you a faster car on the grid. See the gap now, 6.2 seconds. The dip under 5 seconds as we come into the final few laps. This can happen, boys. This can happen. He picks up a 3-second time for Lewis. Looks like he's still pushing for that fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Maybe just using a bit too much there. So we started lap 25 of 28, and K-Mag is just over 5 seconds behind Jans. He's putting a lot of work already. He's going to have to do a lot more still, but it's on. The battle for P4 is on, and if he gets close enough to Jans, we expect he'll be in striking distance with James. So James needs to check out now. He needs to drop the car behind. He's got a good run this time. Very good run. He's got a great overspeed, and he's going to send it down the inside into the hairpin. Oh, the Red Bull's going to stay on the outside there. Slight kiss of wheels. And that's a great move for Jans up into position 3. And this is going to be costing them time now. Battling out on track. I do think James is the faster driver at this point in time on this circuit in this Grand Prix. And yeah, it's going to push them ever closer to the clutches of K-Mag. But will them soft tyres go off in the last few laps? It'll be a great recovery drive from K-Mag if he can do this. It looks like the gap's starting to come back up towards 5 seconds, and we've lost Aki. Where have we lost him? Can't see him on the track map. Oh, I think he's... Where's this? He's just up ahead of us now. So we'll see the retiring car here up on the left hand side. Just going to pull over there for McLaren in a safe place. Into the pits comes Celtic Speed. And what has happened there? Fresh set of softs. Maybe them tyres just couldn't go to the end. Oh, look at this. We're going to go at it once more down into the hairpin. This is going to go into the final laps. There's not real space there unless you can trust the other guy. Very tight apex. Jans holds on to that final podium slot. And yeah, the gap had stabilised around 5 seconds. It's now down to 3.9 to the car behind. I think that's going to be a bit too ambitious really to close that in. Unless there's some sort of contact. Rooney's opted for the pit lane as well. So Rooney's tyres on that hard compound didn't work. And look at this, he's going to have some work to do now, boys. He has got some work to do on the final few laps of the Grand Prix. We've just started the penultimate lap, and look, Rooney, oh no, yeah, Rooney has popped back out in P2. Oh, that pit lane did confuse me a bit there. Rooney holds on to second, just 2 seconds ahead of Jans. Looks like he's going for the fastest lap of the Grand Prix for that extra point. Every point matters right now. Battery's gone already. Oh, we get squeezed into the barrier. James has just been squeezed into the barrier. That was not very courteous. We've got damage to James 95, and we're going to have a fuming Red Bull driver. There was no need for that. Just a slight pinch on the straightaway. Don't think it was intentional. Still, Is this going to cost James? We're in the final lap of the Grand Prix. Just bring it home, son. You've got 3 seconds. Consolidate your position now. Then we'll get that one to the stewards. Stubbsy, impeccable so far. I mean, pole position, smashed it on his opening laps. Absolutely smashed it, and he's picked the right strap. He's been the quickest driver out there. He had to do a bit of work in that opening stint. He got the moves done when he needed to, and here comes Pez. Final lap maneuver. Oh, the Ferrari moves late on the braking zone there. And I think that's it. I think them tyres are done. Them tyres are done. Pez is not actually too far behind these boys now. Oh, he just lose a bit of wing there. Stubbsy just leaving a souvenir for the fans. Last time through sector 3. Be careful now, Stubbs. Don't have that left-hand end plate. Yeah, like we were saying, he's been faultless. Excellent pace in qualification. Great race pace. Strategy has really worked out well. And Stubbs is going to round the final corner for the last time. Thank God for that. And he's going to come up to the line to win the Vietnam Grand Prix and take the lead in the championship here by some distance. And Rooney's going to come home P2. He's hunting down that fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Can he get it done? He's going to have to be ultra committed through the final sector. You can see the clouds closing in. What we could have done with a bit of rain in this Grand Prix to really spice up events. But a solid drive from Rooney. Didn't quite work out in the track, got held up at times, had some real clean overtakes, and he comes around the final corner to take P2 and the fastest lap of 35.7 on the final lap. And I'm sure he'll be happy with that fastest lap of the Grand Prix. A good drive there from Yanni Jans, comes home P3. That's going to be investigated with that penultimate lap contact with James. K-Mag's going to come home P5. Ludlow's got P6. Weston's P7. And a few drivers caught up with some incidents. As you can see, Pez, Ioaks already finished the lap down. Unfortunately, we lost Aki and we lost ZZ. Around the corner for the final time. Celtic speed up to the line. He's going to bring home a couple of points here. Position 8, as well as Shrimper. He's going to come home P9. Tough day at the office for the Ferrari driver. And that is your lots. I think a few of the boys will be glad to get Hanoi out of the way. Talking of which, we've got our race winner with us right here, right now. ABR Stubbsy's in the party. Please include your audio, sir. How was it for you, sir?
Yeah, pretty boring. But I mean, a win's a win. A last lap on my last run in quali got blocked. I didn't think it was going to be that close for pole. I thought I was coming into the weekend like, confident I could get pole in the win. But quali is a lot closer than expected. Race, I had the 2-stop in mind. Coming into the race, I knew I was going to be doing it. And then I thought, safety car, I might as well take one of my pit stops and hit the mediums as far as I can, get the softs on. And it was pretty comfortable, really.
Yeah, the strat worked out very well, and yeah, Stubbsy comes home P1, Rooney P2. There was Yanni Jans rounding off the podium, James in 4th, K-Mag, Ludlow, Westons, Celtic Speed, Shrimper, NG Pez, Ioaks, Aki and ZZ. Unfortunate retirements there at the end of that, but an interesting Vietnam Grand Prix, a few talking points. And we got Yanni Jans in the party. Have you included your audio, Yanni Jans?
Yeah.
So yeah, a great podium. You must be pleased with that one. Talk us through their final few laps though. I did see a bit of contact there with James. And yeah, just how was the Grand Prix for you, sir?
Overall, I had, by the time trial and all the practice I've done, I think I had some decent pace coming into this week. And I got blocked in qualifying on my final run, which kind of set me back a bit, but all in all, I think it's a pretty good weekend for me. And then regarding the incident with the Red Bull, I'm not too sure. I mean, from my point of view, I didn't really move off the racing line, but we'll see what we say after the race.
Yeah, it didn't look intentional whatsoever. It just looked like, you know, you was both going through the corner, slightly different lines, slight bit of contacts. I was like in the telecam, so it was a bit difficult to tell, but no, it was a good little ding-dong battle you and James were having there, and yeah, excellent performance from you today, Yannias.
Thanks.
We've got the main man, Rooney. How are you doing, Rooney, today, sir? How was the Grand Prix for you, Governor? Very good stuff. Very good.
Good start. Well, not good. Well, I'll say second. My plan was getting to P1 by turn 1. Couldn't do that. Safety car. Did the opposite to Stubbsy. Hoping I'd get a decent gap, but I just couldn't get the. I was consistent with one quick on them hards compared to subs and the mediums. Then he got around softs after that. Too much pace really. I tried to defend, but couldn't really do much. I went fast after the end because extra point. So not a bad race. I wasn't expecting to challenge the lead, so I'll take it.
Yeah, good race for you. It was pretty touch and go that first stint. I mean, you come out into a bit of traffic, if I remember rightly, when you went onto the hards. And
yeah, that's what cost me.
And talk us through your thinking. Was you comfortable with the gap when you come in, you know, for that final lap push for the fastest lap? Was you really confident you come out ahead of them boys?
Yeah, well, when Stubbsy went into the pits, it was 18.6 or 7, and I got over a 19-point gap, time gap, so it was a nice buffer, so I'd out in front, so it worked out well.
Yeah, good Grand Prix today, boys. Hopefully we see a few more faces at the next one next week. And yeah, what Grand Prix have we got coming up next, Rooney? Is we following the calendar? China.
It was the original 2020 calendar, from start to finish.
So that will definitely be a good battle. China definitely throws up some great action, and you can really follow around there. And I expect to see you and Stubbsy go at it for the full distance for that one. And yeah, well done today, boys. Thanks for having me once again, and yeah, I look forward to next week. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care and have a nice day.
You know, sweating.